Hello, welcome or welcome back to the allotment plot. It is unbelievably windy today. I am hiding out in the greenhouse. I had to do an emergency repot of my sunflower titan because thankfully that one hadn't fallen over, but the others had fallen over, so I needed to get them repotted into bigger and heavier pots because they are very much exposed to the elements over here, and with this plot being so open, the wind is just whipping. I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, the wind is whining. Yeah, I'm exposed on all sides to this wind. The only bit of shelter I have is with the greenhouse, so I do try to keep my sunflowers on the other side of the greenhouse, but I forgot to move them yesterday, so I've been panicking all morning that my sunflower titan had fallen over and snapped, which I actually think I would have cried if I'd seen that happen this morning, but thankfully everything's fine. Yesterday I started getting these raised beds sorted that you can see in the background, and I still have one more patch to weed. Bed number 4 needs to be weeded. Bed number 3 can be half made because the back post will actually be going just about where the strawberry bed is, so I can't get that one in until the strawberries are harvested and moved, but I can get the front post in, and I can actually start using the front of that bed, even if the whole thing isn't ready yet. This is bed number 4, and it is pretty much weeded, but I need to get out the fruit trees or fruit bushes, and I think just to make my life a little bit easier, all I'm going to do is transplant them. I'm going to take them from here and I'm going to put them over there, because I think they'll be fine just to be transplanted, and if they're not, they're going to be super easy to grow back, and I do have some in pots already, so I'm not too fussed. They're just in my way and I'd rather get my bed done. So that's what I'm going to get done first, and then I need to level. Much of the same as yesterday, but it's got to be done because I really want to get crops in the ground. I want to get my tomatoes in, I want to get my courgettes in. I am ready to start growing. This is how the beds looked before I started weeding, and this is how it looks now. This really highlights how unlevel the ground is. That post is level. It's about a foot off the ground. So I have my work cut out for me getting all of these posts actually horizontal and not on a diagonal. Okay, bed number 4 is half done. Bed number 3 is also half done. And believe it or not, they are level. And I know what you're thinking. Calm, they're not level at all. They are. They're level with themselves. They are not level with each other. So bed number what's this? 1? Bed number 1 is much higher than bed number 4. So bed number 4 actually is more of a sunken bed rather than a raised bed. I've had to dig in quite deep to level this hole. Bed number 3 is alright, but then the path, you can see this brick illustrates it perfectly how sunken that is. So this is not level at all. So all of the beds are level in terms of their own posts, but I have not leveled them out between each other, and I don't think I'm going to, because frankly too much effort. Not for this year anyway. I'm just going to get the beds ready. I'm going to get the beds plantable, get things in the ground, and then as I go and start to actually construct the beds, I'll be filling them up with stuff anyway, so they're going to get higher. And then once I have a good level of compost, mulch and all sorts of stuff in it, I can then maybe think about actually leveling the entire area and making the raised beds actually level between each other. But for now, I don't think it matters. I can't really tell, to be honest. I know that the ground dips to the left and as you get further away from the greenhouse, but just by looking at it, it's not super obvious. And when it's all planted up, the plants will grow at different heights and they're not going to look wonky. Plants don't look wonky, they'll be fine. Yeah, not too bad. I probably can get bed number 4 finished actually. I just need to get a little bit more soil. I need to fill it up a bit. It's too much like a basin at the moment. So I need some more soil, and I'm probably going to get it from the end heap. But I'm going to go get a coffee and have a sit down. I'm tired. This is day 3 of plot time. I'm flagging. I think I need to maybe have a break tomorrow, catch my breath and do something that isn't allotment related, although I really want to do allotment stuff all the time. Anytime I'm not doing allotment stuff, I'm like, oh no, I'm wasting allotment time. But yeah, I'm tired, but I'm getting there. I'm doing really well, and I'm really pleased with how it's going. I came back to the plot later in the evening and the sun was out, and the evening sun just makes the plot glow. It's so gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I brought a few more plants to put up around the side of the greenhouse and it's looking really good. I'm really pleased with how this space is coming along. I need a bunch more plants to fill the space and get the ground covered, but it's going really well. I've just come back to the plot and the strawberries that were not quite done earlier look like they might be ready. This one has been nibbled a tiny bit, but I think it's still okay. Ta-da! My first strawberry harvest! Yay! Nice. Look at that one! Oh, that looks so good! 2 strawberries!
a bountiful harvest.
I mentioned in my previous video that I foraged these branches, and I now get to start the project, which they are going to be used for. I'm building a bed for flowers around the apple tree, and I'm going to be using it as a bit of an experiment area to see what grows and what doesn't grow. And also, by putting it around the tree, it means I'm going to be giving the tree a bit more attention as well in terms of watering, and hopefully I can get that tree looking a little bit healthy as well. The back of the plot is quite chaotic and I have abandoned it a little bit, so it will be really good to get a project started on this end. I saw my first grasshopper of the year.
I can't see it on my camera.
Oh, there you are. Hello. Look how camouflaged he is. Oh, I'm getting bitten by an ant. Ow! Ah. Ouch. Hello, little guy. Look at the ants go too. All their eggs. They're so big. Look at them picking up their eggs and their maggots. What? Oh my gosh. That's really cool. I can't believe how big they are. How on earth does an ant lay an egg that big? Wow. Fascinating. I'm getting bitten so much. There are ants crawling all over me. I'm going to stop now. This big poppy plant in front of the tree was covered in ladybirds, so instead of bagging it up, I just put it in the wildflower area so that the ladybirds could get somewhere safe, instead of putting it in a bag and then getting composted. Mum's helped me weed this whole section, so the apple tree is now on its own and I can start placing my logs and coming up with my general structure for this wildflower bed. I had laid them out at home before bringing them to the plot in a rough shape, and I tried to recreate the essence of it, and I really like that there's these little pockets around the edge as well. It just looks so sweet and very organic. The whole idea was to work with the natural curves of the branches, and I think it's just fit together so nicely. The next stage of the process is to catch up on the local news. No, it's not. It's to lay lots of newspaper down onto the soil, and this is going to act hopefully as a natural weed sheet and try to keep down some of the weeds and give me a little bit of a helping hand. I'm watering the newspaper so that it absorbs and soaks in to keep the newspaper down. I'm doing this on a really windy day, so this was actually quite risky, but thankfully it didn't blow away. The plants I'm trialling in this area are mullein, forget-me-not, verbena, and I think there's a little aquilegia in there as well. All the plants I'm using have come out of my mum's garden or from the side of the road where there are loads of self-seeded plants and wildflowers, some which are naturalised and some which I have sown myself or have been sown in previous years. And I'm just going around and seeing what I like and cherry picking the things that I want for my own plot and just seeing if they'll grow here in a completely different environment. At home, it's very damp and there isn't a huge amount of sunlight. The soil is really, really healthy. On the plot, it's really dry. The soil is very unhealthy. So it's pretty much the most opposite environment you could possibly get. So I don't want to spend money on plants if they're not going to last. So using what we've already got is a great way of getting something in the ground, but also if they don't work, not much is lost. I'll just know not to grow them around the rest of the plot. With this bed particularly, I'm trying to create a wildflower look by being really intentional with where I'm placing my plants. So I'm trying to spread them out, make it look like they've self-seeded, and hopefully I will get flowers and they will actually self-seed, and then next year it will look a little bit more natural. I sowed a bunch of cosmos earlier in the year and I decided to bring up one of the pots from the garden to place into my bed. I absolutely love cosmos. They are one of my absolute most favourite flowers. I grow all my cosmos from seed and I have done for the past, I think, 4 or 5 years. Every year I say I don't have enough cosmos and I sow some the following year, and once again I feel like I do not have enough cosmos because I sowed cosmos for the garden and this plot is a much bigger space and requires probably 1,000% more cosmos. With everything in and having multiple waterings, I covered the top with a layer of soil which came out of the compost bins which were here when I arrived. There's probably a bunch of seedlings in here that I think there were tomatoes growing already, but it gives it a nice layer of mulch, so it's going to keep the moisture in, hopefully. And also it just looks a lot nicer than the newspaper. And I, again, don't want to be spending huge amounts of money on compost, so wherever I can, I'm using what I have on the plot. Although it's not hugely nutritious or good in any way, it's better than nothing and much better than spending a huge amount of money on compost and that just being washed away or, you know, having to top it up later anyways. It is nearly 9:30 at night and that is me done for today. I am filthy, I am covered in ant bites, I am hungry, but I'm very satisfied with everything that I managed to get done today with the help of my mum. Thank you, Mum. And thank you for watching. I will see you in the next allotment update. Until then, stay calm and carry on growing.